What's going on, everybody? Chaseontwowheels, and in front of me, I have the 2024 LiveWire S2 Mulholland out for a first ride. LiveWire was nice enough to connect us and get us one of these. We have this thing for a long-term loan, so today we are going to be doing the first ride on it. This thing is fully electric, it's fully LiveWire, and I don't know if I could be more excited for a bike to do a first ride on today. This thing's going to be sick. Let's get this thing going. Oh, and stick around to the end of the video to find out if it's a purchase or a pass. Let's go. What did you think it was going to sound like? It's a freaking electric bike. God. Also, fantastic bike to listen to your Cardo and listen to music on because you got no engine sounds to interrupt it. Seated Up Cardo, 10% off your Cardos. Get your shit now. Bye-bye. So guys, that's what it looks like, that's what it sounds like. Now, before we get going on this thing, this video is not sponsored, but it is supported by our website, wbrgarage.com, where we give motorcycles away. Yes, you heard that right, we give motorcycles away. If you guys want to get entries, you can go check the website out to figure out how you can enter to win. And if you're already a member, shout out to you. Thank you guys so much. It really helps supporting the content that we make for y'all. But it's time to ride this thing. Got a little quad lock on a handlebar mount. We love it. We love it. Okay. LiveWire Mulholland. The last time, oh, by the way, wireless key thing. So you just hit that, kickstand up, screen will turn on. A little longer turn on sequence there. And then we press a button. Alrighty, guys. So we got the bike on now, and we do have a couple modes on this bike. We have a mode button right over here. Currently, we are in Eco/Range mode. There is a road mode. There is a sport mode, very fun. We have a rain mode, and then we have custom modes. Custom modes are not on right now. Custom modes just allows you guys to customize the mode that you want between the power, the throttle, and the regen. You can, make it whatever you want. So we're just going to stick in the regular modes today for our road review. And you guys know, I'm 5'10", got a 32-inch inseam, and I've got very bent legs here. I believe the seat height is 30 point something. I'll put it on the screen here. But if you are a shorter rider, you are not going to have to worry about this thing at all. All right, guys, fully electric first ride. Let's get her going. It's silent. There's no clutch. I'm never going to get used to that. Ever, 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 ever. Also, guys, we have given up on notifications from YouTube letting y'all know we put content out, so we're getting around that. We have a C2W newsletter that you can join, and I'll email you every single week. No cars coming. What a joy. Let's go. Let's go on the Mulholland. That's rain mode. I'm going to get a ticket today. Rain mode, very surprising how much power that has. You guys are never gonna hear me more clear than on a freaking electric bike first ride. Holy snap, that's hilarious. So guys, LiveWire has a couple models right now. They have the LiveWire 1, which is what you guys have seen content on from my channel before. They have a Del Mar, and they have this Mulholland. This thing's coming in at around 16 grand, and I am super stoked to stop at this red light and spend some time on it today with you guys. You guys know I'm already kind of a fan of electric bikes, so I'm already here for this. So I'm interested to see how this one is compared to the LiveWire 1. Yeah, the coolest thing about electric bikes is that there's no clutch. You don't have to worry about, you know, feathering the clutch out with the throttle. You literally just like see a green light and you send it, which is what I fully intend to do when this light turns green. On your mark, get set, and go. Rain mode does chill it out a decent bit, which is insanity because that's how much power it has. All right, guys, as a first start, let's talk about body position because it is a little different here. So first off, you guys probably saw when I was getting on the bike, the seat is really thin, but sitting on it, very comfortable. My back is pretty upright. My legs are tucked up a little bit. But I think the most interesting part about this situation is the handlebars. They're a lot higher than my body kind of expects them to be, so my arms are pretty upright, and it's just kind of an interesting body position to be in with my hands up this high, and the handlebars seem kind of thin. The whole bike seems pretty thin, but the handlebars also seem pretty thin. I feel like this would be a perfect motorcycle for lane splitting if you were in a state that can do lane splitting. Unfortunately, we can't here in Georgia, technically. All right, we're at the red light. That's the body position stuff. I'll keep an eye on the seat, by the way, throughout the video to let you guys know how it is. All right, rain mode, you are turning into road mode. Let's get into road mode now. Already, from the jump, you can tell that the throttling is so much more powerful in road mode. Electric bikes are so fun. I love them. Oh, my gosh. They're different. They're not the same. But they are so good. All right, so now that we're in road mode, we can get around the city. Jesus Christ. Oh, this bike is so good. It's so thin, I feel like I can take it anywhere. All right, so as far as power numbers, I don't want to lie to you guys. There is like a thing in my brain that has a really hard time understanding kilowatt hours and all of this stuff. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on the screen all of the engine or motor numbers as far as battery and all that kind of stuff. There it is. If that makes sense for you, that's awesome. For whatever reason, it just does not click in my brain to understand. But what I can tell you is that this bike has a city range of what it's supposed to be, I think, 120. And then it has a 73-mile highway range as long as you keep the speed under 55. When you take this bike over 55 miles an hour, the range drops off dramatically. So I definitely don't see people as getting this bike to do long touring on. It's just not what it was made to do at all. And what I'm also noticing is that the road mode, while giving way more throttle and power, it doesn't have any regen. And I think that's one of the cooler things about this bike. So I'm going to change it into the Eco/Range mode. Now, what that should do is give me similar power to road mode, if not the same power, but it's going to really up the regen. And I'll talk about what that does here in a second because I do think it's super neat. All right. So now that we are in Range/Eco mode, which is interesting that it's called range mode because you would think that would give you the most range, but I actually don't think it will. But in eco mode now, when I release the throttle, you will see the bike slow down. And what that is the motor rotating and regenning battery life and slowing me down at the same time. So, car slowing down, I just let go of the throttle and I start slowing down. One of the super weird things that does is it allows me to ride this motorcycle and I almost don't have to use the brakes. I actually don't have to use the brakes unless I'm coming into an emergency where I really need to stop the bike. But you can ride this entire motorcycle with just the throttle. It's super strange, but you know, it takes some time to get used to the level of braking. You know, regenning is what it is, but braking, once you get used to that amount, you can really start like knowing exactly when you need to let off the throttle to get stopped. And it's freaky because you're used to using brakes, but you don't really have to, which is super neat. All right, it's so much stronger than I bet a lot of you guys would imagine. I think I'll keep it in eco mode as we take this turn because sport mode, actually, you know what? Screw it, sport mode. So sport mode on this bike is going to give me the most power and very little to no regen. So when I let go of the throttle, now I'm just going to start rolling forward. It's kind of crazy looking at traffic and knowing I'm one of the fastest things on the planet, and I can jump out in front of anything, and I can easily make it. You know what I mean, as far as acceleration goes? Like right now. Holy shit, that's fast. Shit! I forgot how fast that was. Woo! You're not ready for it. You're not ready for it at all. Oh my goodness. I've ridden this bike before, guys. This is not technically the first ride. Like, I did the camera car run on it. I've experienced what this thing feels like in sport mode, and somehow it still surprises me. Are we about to get a green? Oh God. Please no, I'm not ready. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I like how I haven't even talked about the city riding of this thing yet. I'm sorry. I love it, and I'm having a hard time making cohesive sentences today. God, that's the front wheel up. That's the Jesus Christ. Front wheel came up, it fell down and came back up. All right. Okay. Let's keep it in sport mode, whatever. All right, city performance. Here's the thing. This is an electric bike. Weight-wise, we're looking at around 432 pounds, wet and ready to go, if that makes sense. And that is actually not crazy heavy for an electric motorcycle. It kind of is on par with a lot of bikes. So it's kind of neat to be able to have all of the pros of an electric bike and not any of the cons. I mean, there's cons, right? But it's cool that it's not crazy heavy. Love that. The thinness of the bike and the handlebars does make it feel very agile. All right, let's get around. God, you better be doing ab workouts if you are going to ride this thing around in sport mode. You are going to be using those abs. So in the city, this thing is fantastic. An electric motor is literally made for city riding. It has more torque than anything you'll ride, and it's available instantly. No clutching, no anything. This, so far, in my experience of motorcycling, this is probably my favorite motorcycle for street and city riding. Period. End of statement. I love the thinness. I love the lightweightness relative. It makes it feel like it can just go anywhere, do anything, and it can do it with such performance. I absolutely love it. Also, I apologize for doing such a terrible job of rating it for the city. Also, it's time to get on the highway, where this thing's probably not going to be as great, but thanks to our buddies over at Law Tigers. They are our motorcycle lawyer buddies, and they sponsor the First Start Show. If you guys ever get in a problem on the city streets with your motorcycle, check out Law Tigers. All right, Law Tigers, damn you. I have to do a 40 to 80 pull now. This one's going to be quick, and this car's going to probably run me off the road, but that's okay. I am a professional. I have a job to do. On your mark, get set, go. Warp speed, that's it. Holy snap. Good gravy. And it don't rest. It is not chill. Chris, what was the time? Jiminy Christmas, that is fast. Alrighty guys, we are here on the highway with the LiveWire S2 Mulholland. Now, right now, I am getting a ton of wind on me, no shocker, right? We got no guarding up here. I got wind on my legs, my arms, my chest. I'm having to hold on to the seat pretty tight to keep myself forward. This is not a place where this bike is good for. I mean, power-wise, sure, yeah, it's got plenty, but like there's just so much wind, and you're in an upright body position, so the wind is just gonna be pressing you back. Even if I leaned forward some, this is just not the most comfortable situation. So for a short little burst, yeah, it's fine, no problem. And it definitely has the power. It even has cruise control. We can click that there and then set it, and then cruise control is chill. Can we deactivate it if we go forward? Yes, we can. LiveWire, nice job. You know my requirements for cruise control. So yeah, it's got cruise control. It can definitely do it, but it's just not going to be the most comfortable situation. Interestingly, I'm being blown around as a person, as the rider, but the bike is very stable here on the highway, which is kind of surprising. I expected with such a thin motorcycle, it might be subject to getting blown around, but it's tracking super well. I'm actually surprised to see that. Yeah, I think that's it for the highway. No vibration. Everything's really stable on the bike. It's just the body position, the lack of wind, and the range that you're going to be absolutely destroying here on the highway that is making it have its negative knocks. Otherwise, this thing is fantastic. It would be really interesting to see if LiveWire created a more touring focused bike, because I feel like they are really doing a good job with a lot of the stuff that they're doing right now. And I can't wait to see more bikes come from LiveWire. But guys, I'm going to finish up the highway and listen to some tunes on my Cardo. If you guys want to grab a Cardo for yourself, I got a 10% discount code in the description down below. All you got to use is C2Dub Cardo to get that. Couldn't ride without them. So let's check that out. Alright guys, so the wind sucks, but everything else on the highway felt great. So shout out to LiveWire for making a super awesome bike. I just wish the range was a little better for the highway. Also, thank you Cardo for sponsoring the show. I really wish I could get this bike leaned over and tell you guys how fun it is to lean over, especially when you don't have to worry about what gear you're in and where the revs are. You just kind of sit on it and rip it and call it a day, but we are not going to get to do that. I will tell you, I have had no problem really ascending it with this bike. That's a red light. I plan on stopping at it. I would be interested to own an electric motorcycle like this, like a real one, just to know if... Jesus! Just to know if that ever gets boring. Like, the amount of times I've been the front row at a red light on this bike and in sport mode and fully gun it and just to see if my abs can handle holding me. I don't know if that would ever get boring. Like, does it? Could it? Can it? Can I pass this car? Yes. And it's silent. That's the strangest thing. You are hauling all the balls and no noise is happening. You get a little bit of whine, but other than that, it's just silent. It's crazy because you're going so fast. Your body is literally having to hold on for you. It's weird. All right, let's talk about some of the characteristics of the bike now that we've gooned around a little bit. Power delivery is going to be faster than anything you guys have experienced. 193 foot-pounds of torque, and it's available instantly, and you have no throttle or no clutch modulation. That is going to be stronger than literally anything the vast majority of you guys have ever experienced. So it's hard to even describe that. But it's going to be very dependent on what mode you're in. So if you don't want that, if you're one of those guys that are getting this to be like eco-conscious and you want to like maximize your range, it's very easy to control that. This throttle does a phenomenal job of giving you as much power as you want. I feel like the throttle's weighted really well, and I feel like I can control it. Now, the braking is solid. We do have Brembo brakes on this model. That being said, I have not ridden it to a degree that I need the brakes. I just let the regen do all the braking for me, and that's done a phenomenal job, which is part of the fun of riding this bike, is that you don't have to use your brakes at all. I kind of love that. It's really neat. But the brakes are there. We do have a front and a rear brake. We do have rider aids on this bike. We have cornering, ABS, we have traction control, we have all of those things. We can also brake heavily. ABS kicks on relatively quickly, just in case you guys are curious. We can turn traction control off, but I like to feel that as I grow older in my life, I learn and I become less dumb. Sometimes this is true, sometimes it is not. But when I am on a motorcycle that weighs this much and has 194 foot-pounds of torque, I don't think I need to turn traction control off. I'm already having a hard time keeping the front wheel down because I'm an idiot, as previously mentioned. At red lights, if I get the front, I would probably end my life sooner than it needed to be ended if I turned that off. So I will not be doing that. Oh no, more people texting me. I don't want you to text me while I'm on a first strike because I'll see your name. That row's gonna go. Cancel. Oh no. Oh no. I've ruined myself. I've ruined myself. I now have one glove off and I have to go because I thought the turn signal was going to last. Oh, damn it. All right, we got to pull in. I tried to turn my notifications off. Oh, no. The red light surprised me and now I have to ride around with one glove on. Can you imagine if I did the rest of the review with one glove off? Every one of you guys would be like, Chase, what happened? What happened to the one glove that you had on? That would be hilarious. Sorry, guys, a little bit of a pit stop to handle phone notifications and put my glove back on. This is totally not a ploy to just throttle it up again. It definitely is not. Oh no, a car's coming. I must hurry. Go! I don't think it'll get boring. I don't think it'll get boring. Okay, I am so bad at my job today. I'm so sorry, guys. So many of y'all are sitting here watching this review, and it turns out to be just an idiot laughing on a motorcycle. I should just call this that. Idiot laughs on motorcycle. Okay, let's talk about the controls up here. They are very Harley-esque, very surprisingly. I was looking at this bike and my Sportster S at the house, and they are very, very, very similar. So, on the right side, we have the mode button, the turn-on switch, we have the hazard lights, and we also have the audio stuff, you know, volume up, volume down. You can actually connect your phone to the bike, and you can control your music from there. So if you're an owner, definitely something you'd want to do. And then obviously you have your speak, which will turn on your phone stuff, I guess. And then traction control off. Sweet. Very similar screen to my Sportster S, this little circular screen. It's incredible. It's fantastic. Super high resolution. Love the screen. It's also full color. And then on the right side, you got a lot of controls over here. Not going to go through every single one of them, but tons of stuff happening here. And all the buttons feel great, guys. They feel like a solid button. Harley uses this for a lot of their newer bikes, and LiveWire looks like they're using the same ones. I've used them on the Pan Am. I've used them on the Sportster S. They work great. And one of the things I love is up here, you can use this to cycle your information. But if you want to change the screen, you can literally do that with this button press. So there's a lot of stuff. This screen gets really deep. You can go into all types of stuff. Navigation, all that whatnot. I'm not going to go into it in this video, but just know that Harley does a fantastic screen. I do love that the grips have a little, you know, LiveWire-y or electric heartbeat looking thing. The grips are okay. I feel like they could be a little grippier, a little more texture there, but overall, I haven't had a problem, you know, holding on for dear life. And then the one lever that we do have, the front brake lever, is adjustable. It's blacked out and has a good texture, so I do love that. Now, the mirrors are a little weird on the LiveWire. They are underslung, and I have a couple bikes that are, you know, the mirrors are off on the end, so I'm kind of used to having mirrors that are not directly up here. But if you've never had a bike with like aftermarket mirrors, these could be weird. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Might be something you might have to get used to. I do feel like they're very easily adjustable, but I do notice that there are times where if I need to see a certain position, I'll have to raise my arm up a little bit because my arm gets in the way. So, a little gripe, nothing really big though. So guys, I know you've been looking at that camera car footage, and shout out to our sponsors for allowing us to do that camera car footage. We would not be able to bring you guys that footage for these videos if we didn't have those sponsors. So anytime you guys have the opportunity to support them, it is directly supporting this content if you use our links in the description, and we thank you a lot. But we are going to pull off up here and do a little walk around of the bike because I feel like the Mulholland might be my favorite looking electric bike on the market. Woo! That does not get old ever. Ever, 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 ever. And now we're just chilling. We're in a parking lot, and the throttling is just as simple. It's very easy to get that minute feel. The bike can just play around in a parking lot with no problems. I love it so much. I have a massive problem. I have a $16,000 problem. I didn't buy this bike, don't worry. It's just a loan. But I'm just, you know, I'm thinking out loud. It's literally my job to think out loud. It is very maneuverable though. I will mention that. This bike is very maneuverable for an electric bike. Typically they're not as maneuverable. Okay, lined up with a tree. Oh my god. Cool. Lined up with a tree and kickstand. Oh, this is another thing we can talk about. Here, I'll turn it off. So the kickstand, I have noticed that I have a hard time finding the little nub. It's right here if you can't tell. But, whoa. Huh. I've never experienced that before. So if you just kick it, it doesn't really lock in place. And then it has that little notch, so when you lean it over, it then locks in. So a little weird on the kickstand. Maybe they need to have it, you know, be able to grab sooner or something. Anyways, guys, we have the LiveWire S2 Mulholland here in the white, which is super cool. And here's one of the things that people might not know, but you see these fenders? It's only got this one and this one. That is made out of hemp, so it's like a plant. And then there are plastic pieces inside the engine that use recycled ocean plastic for the plastic. How freaking cool is that? So it kind of leans into its kind of, I mean, we all know a lot of the people that are into the electric bikes are really into sustainability and helping the planet, which I think is super neat, super down for. But it's really cool that they've taken an electric bike that was already be kind of focused towards that group of people and then went even farther. You know, like, I'm sure that doing the hemp stuff probably costs more than just getting ABS plastic. I'm sure getting recycled ocean plastic is more expensive than just doing the normal thing. So I think that stuff's kind of cool, and I appreciate that. So we have it in the white model here with the kind of tan seat. Also, shout out to my gloves for being the exact color of the seat. I think that's hilarious. I literally sat my glove on the seat at my house before I left. Searched for 15 minutes, could not find my glove, realized that it was sitting on the seat of the bike that I was looking to ride. So, thought that was kind of hilarious. Okay, suspension-wise, we do have adjustable suspension, which I think is neat. You can kind of dial it in for what you need. I've had no need to dial that suspension in. It has done a fantastic job of, you know, I don't know if they sprung it from my weight or not, but whatever it is, I looked out and I'm appreciative. Now, you are going to notice some weirdness. We see LiveWire here. This is the LiveWire logo. But if we look down here, we see Harley Davidson. So while LiveWire has been separated into its own brand, it's still kind of part of the Harley family is what it seems like. But without that Harley name, maybe it costs less. We would love that. But overall, guys, it's a very odd looking bike, and they categorize it as a cruiser, which I find so strange. I don't see cruiser about anything with this thing, but, you know, whatever it is, you know, cruiser it is. Look how thin the bike is, though. It has got the most weird shape of it. I love the tail. I know a lot of you guys disagree with me. I love the fender swing arm thing. It gives us this clean area right here. You know what would look absolutely sick on this bike? If you took an LED bar like this and put it there as the tail. Oh, bro, it would be so sick. Just have the license plate on the back. Damn, that would be sick. Okay. Overall, guys, I really don't have a ton else to say. I guess I could show you. It is not chain drive. It is belt drive. You see that on a lot of these electric bikes. They go belt drive because the amount of torque, I guess, that these things are trying to deal with. Belt drive just works out easier, which is nice because that means there's even less maintenance on this thing. This thing really, like, charge it up and make sure your tires are good, and you're pretty much set. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for the walk around. I love the look. This is my favorite looking electric bike on the market right now, period, end of statement, done. I love this thing, and I love the white. The black with the red seat's pretty sick, but I think the white's even better. So I'm going to grab my phone off the quad lock. Shout out if you guys need a phone mount. Wouldn't trust anything else. I'm going to do some vertical content for our peeps over on Instagram and TikTok. We are at Chaseontwowheels on TikTok, and we're at Stitched Up Pics on Instagram. I'm going to make some content for them. I'll be right back. All right, friends, that is it. Now, we have a few final things to do, guys. We got to do a steering stem lock test, and then we got to say if this is a purchase or a pass. I have a feeling you guys might know the answer to that based on this video so far, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Bike is on. It's interesting how the seat doesn't get crazy hot because it's white. I do appreciate that. Alrighty, steering stem all the way locked, farther locked than I would expect, and we'll see how she goes. God, I love that throttle. It's so nice. Holy snap. Guys, I almost turned around in the same parking lot. That is one of the better ones that we've ever seen. I'm saying top 25 percentile. Okay, now we will slowly creep off, and nobody will even know we are here. And now we'll get away quickly. Totally silently. I love this bike so stupid freaking much. It annoys me how much I like it. Excuse me, gentlemen. Let me finish my review. All you have to do is lean back a little bit and the front wheel just whee! Oh my God. Okay, if you've somehow watched this whole review and don't know the answer, it's time to find out if the 2024 LiveWire Mulholland is a purchase or pass. Dude, it's a purchase so many days of the week. Oh my God, asterisk. Guys, I have ridden a lot of electric bikes. I've loved a lot of them, but none of them I have loved this freaking much. Is this the only bike you should own? Absolutely not. You basically cannot tour on it because the range is going to drop off. The range has got, you can go 73 miles on the highway before you have to charge. And if you go to a DC 2 charger, it takes like an hour and 18 minutes to go from 20 to 80. So like, you can charge, but like you're doing so much downtime. You're almost doing as much downtime, or you're actually doing as much downtime as you are riding. So it doesn't really make sense for touring. But outside of the touring aspect and the inability to do that, for your casual ride around town bike, I love the shit out of this thing. Every mile I have put on it, I have enjoyed every one of them, and it is without a doubt my favorite bike in the garage right now. I don't know. Electric bikes just really do it for me. And I was looking at LiveWire's lineup, and I think the LiveWire 1 is a sick motorcycle, right? I've ridden one. I've done some videos on it. Fantastic bike. It probably does the best job of being an electric sporty bike. This bike feels like it does the best job of being an electric naked bike. So I don't know why they're calling it a cruiser, but cool, do what you got to do. I think this is more on the naked range with my slightly higher handlebars than a naked would have, slightly lower seat height, but it is undeniable how much fun I've had on this bike. LiveWire said I can have it for a month. I am going to have this bike as long as I possibly freaking can so that I can spend more time on it. I have just really enjoyed this bike a lot. Now, that's because I'm here for the looks. I actually don't like the looks on the Del Mar the more I look at it, but I love the looks on this. So I'm glad that they didn't take the Del Mar, which is, from what I understand, based on a similar platform as the Mulholland. So, you know, I just lucked out in the looks department of really liking this one. But, yeah, guys, could not say enough good about this bike. I have not really had any range issues based on the type of riding I've been doing. Everything's been, like, city and back roads. You know, like, that's the only riding I've really done on it, which is where it's just done phenomenal. So, really appreciate LiveWire reaching out and hooking us up with this loaner bike, guys. If you guys want to check one out, I'll have a link to LiveWire's website in the comments down below. And check out Harley dealerships. From what I understand, some Harley dealerships actually have LiveWires in there, and you can go check them out for yourself if you want to sit on one, see how it fits you, see what the weight feels like. So we'll have links in the description for that, guys. And if you made it to this point in the video, I am happy to say you are in the outro crew. So leave a comment after you like the video, and let me know what you guys think about electric bikes. Are you guys just crazy here for them like I am, and just I'm waiting on the technology to catch up to where they can be like mass adopted? Or do you just like internal combustion engines and you don't want it to be messed with? You guys let me know in the comments down below, and share this video out with somebody that is into electric bikes that might find this interesting, because if you're into electric bikes, I think you're gonna freaking love this thing. Guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. You guys go out there and ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.